Greetings, everyone. By now, you probably have enjoyed a very blessed Samhain, I hope. Had some celebrations that you enjoyed, or are still have some to look forward to because Samhain goes on. It's not just on 31st. For some people, that's Halloween, and then Samhain, of course, begins the 1st of November, technically, I think, or the 2nd. It's different in different places. I'm reminded very much of that because as part of my celebration this year, I participated in an online event on Facebook, a 2-day event, which was very, very enjoyable. I loved it. It took up so much of my time, and I will talk a little bit about that in a minute, but what I want to say is some of the other things that we did, I'm going to share some of them because I've been so busy, like we all have, I guess. I had a couple of different experiences this year. That was one of them. Another one was, of course, the dark dinner that that I shared with you on a previous video, which was it felt so good. It was a very lovely evening between my husband and I. It was such a pleasant experiences communicating with the ancestors at that time. Also, I had a lot of really lovely spent a lot of time really with my ancestors close to me, some of my ancestors close to me. I could feel their presence very strongly. Also, we had a little fun gathering here on the Friday before last Friday, where we had a little bonfire out in the back, and some friends here, and we roasted some hot dogs and on the fire, and just simple things, and shared just stories and experiences about our experiences with the spirits, with the dead, with our ancestors, perhaps. We also sang some songs, and it was such a wonderful, with the fire going, it was such a wonderful, relaxing time. The sky was clear. We could see some of the planets, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful evening. So the moon was clear. We had still was a waxing crescent moon, of course, but it was beautifully clear in the sky. It was gorgeous. But of course, the highlight of my weekend really had to be the 2-day event I talked about on Facebook. It was hosted by Jessica Starr. Some of you might know her. It was I was one of the hosts, but we had a lot of live chat, and we had some chat, and we had some live videos, and I learned so much. Of course, it's always fun to share with people all over the world. But another thing that I learned was how technically challenged I am, and I think we all had some kind of issues, not just me, but many people had issues with that. And that's such a great resource. So I was giving it some thought. I do watch some other people here on YouTube that are not. It's not pagan channels of any kind. It's mostly gardening channels that I watch that are Ban, go lay down. Lie down. Good boy. Good boy. They're most of them are gardening channels, but they have periodical live videos here on YouTube that they are able to answer a lot of questions about a subject and that they've received from people, but also they've been able to have questions asked of them. They are live on the video through the chat. And I was thinking, I wonder if I could do that because I had some people that I met. I thought I was meeting for the first time during the Witchstock event, but they said they were subscribed to me, or they knew me. They followed me on Facebook, and it sent me off into YouTube to try to look at the questions in the comments, because I have to be honest. I'm being so honest. I appreciate your comments and your questions, and I do pretty much read them all. I try to read all of them. And I tried from time to time to answer some of them. It's just really hard to do. And I have made some video responses to your questions, which I have, but they have just been recorded responses. So if you don't see the video, you don't get your questions answered. So I'm going to try to host in the coming future. I'm going to try maybe next week to try one. To try how to do a live, first of all, how to do a live chat, a live recording, whatever they call them. I'm not even sure. But do it live, and then if you're able to see it live, you can ask me comments in the comment section. Ask me questions, and I'll try to answer them. We're going to try to stay into areas of topic areas, because when I was looking through questions last night, I was going so many questions. I saw that there were specific categories, and there was a lot of different. I could have a different category. So if I could break it up that way, that's what I hope to do. I'm going to start out. I'm going to try to start out on Tuesday, the 8th of November. And we're going to try it for noon Pacific. That'll be Pacific Standard Time. So, depending on where you are in the world, you can see it live. I realize that's not a great time for a lot of people, but is there ever a great time for a lot of people? And I have a lot of viewers who do watch in other countries. So this enables everybody to, first of all, have an opportunity maybe to see it live. But if not, it will be recorded because it will stay on YouTube, and you'll be able to see it. And we'll post the area that we're talking about, because I know we have people here of varying interest. And since I'm going to try on a Tuesday, I'm going to try first to keep it to tarot. I have a lot of people ask me a lot of different tarot questions, and I'm going to try to address those questions. But if you have the opportunity to watch live with me, any tarot question that you want to ask me, I will try to answer to my best of my ability. It's not readings. We're not doing readings, but we can talk about different aspects of readings. That's perfectly fine. But we'll try to see what can happen. And then another time, we'll do some of your other questions pertaining to spell work, or I have also, there's such an area, and I really want to try to answer. I just am doing this because I think, first of all, it'll help me be a little more technically, have my technical skills enhanced, perhaps. But also, I want to have an opportunity. I know how important it is, and I saw that this weekend, to actually be able to speak to somebody, even if it's just, chatting away, on a certain subject, how helpful that is. Because for a lot of you, you don't have a lot of other witches or tarot people or whoever who you can talk to. Some of you are very much in the closet, so to speak, or you just don't have a lot of people around that you can talk to about these subjects that would be interested in the subjects. So I want to try to do this. This is not going to take the place of my regular videos, of course. I'm going to get back into a lot of my videos. To be honest, I even understand this is very late. This is meant to be on a Wednesday. I should have done this on Monday, but I'm going to do it here on Wednesday. And even though for some of you, by the time you see this, because of the time change, it will actually be Thursday when you see it. We're not going to care about that. The important thing is if you see it. And I am going to address the subject and the title, but I thought I could get the announcement out first, because a lot of people, if you're not interested you tune out. I mean, a lot of people don't watch the whole entire video, and you'll miss this announcement. So I wanted to put this up first, and I will start a trial. I'll try if I can figure out to post the announcement on my homepage here on my channel to remind you, a reminder to see that. And if there's a way that if you don't get notifications, I think if you're a subscriber, you need to hit a little bell here, and then you can get notifications, or you can just come back to the page, or you can be like me and write your stuff on a piece of scratch paper and put it on your desk. I don't know. So anyway, that's that. We're going to try. Bear with me. It might take me a couple of those to get the knack of it, but I'm going to try really hard. I have a lovely gentleman from Australia who's posted some videos. He claims anybody can do this. So if he thinks I can do it, I'm going to try. What do I know? Take it. Because he certainly makes really nice videos. So, okay. So that's that. And I'll put my paper aside so I can remember to remind you if you do watch this video. This video is going to be, I wanted it to be short, but I wanted to say, no matter, we're talking about spreading our seeds during Samhain. Now, if you had watched my video I did on the harvest, as Samhain as being the final harvest, I did comment about the harvesting of the seeds. We harvest the seeds of our intention. And of course, I use the analogy of the garden, and I use the analogy of how the crone holds the seed of the god. The goddess holds the seed as a crone, holds the seed of the god inside her, ready to be reborn at Yule. Yeah, those are fine. But I realize not everybody's Wiccan. Not everybody talks about gods and goddesses, whatever, and I totally get that. Because my practice itself is very eclectic and draws from Wicca and from other traditions. My husband's really on into Druidry right now, and we're really, because we have open minds, we hope to just adapt the path that is right for us. That's our goal. Okay, but for everybody, if you are Wiccan or not, the earth, we're talking about the earth. This is when I'm saying spreading your seeds, for me, what I am about very much, what part of Wicca appeals to me so much, is the relationship that Wiccans have with the earth. We hold the earth in high esteem, and we consider ourselves, or we're supposed to, as part of Wiccan, we're a nature-based religion, and we consider the relationship we have with the earth and elsewhere to be of paramount importance. But without the earth, we have nothing. And even if you are not Wiccan, if you are a witch of any kind, you depend very much on the earth to be in a good condition, right? That's a big thing. If you use herbs of any kind, they have to grow. We have to have healthy soil for them to grow in. If you work with crystals, of course, the gemstones coming from the earth. If you work with the elements of fire or earth or water, air, these all are very much related to the earth, right? To the planet Earth, And I know I have from time to time said things, but now I'm going to make it my mission right now. This is my part of Samhain that I'm going to carry through. At least I'm going to try to carry through really hard through into Yule. Because remember, Samhain it's beginning now. This is the beginning of the season of Samhain. And yes, we had we ate the candy. We burned up a lot of candles. We did a lot of, talking with the ancestors. Some of us are still doing that, and that's fine. But it continues to Yule. And what I want to say to you is, of course, being a good witch and treating the earth properly is important all year. I want to take this moment as a witch, as a crone, as a Wiccan, as someone who loves the earth, to spread my seeds, my knowledge, what I have acquired about how to maintain a healthy relationship with the earth. What can we do for the earth? Okay, what can we do? And I'm not speaking just as a crone here. I'm speaking as a person who lives on the planet. But this is my purpose right now. I'm going to try real hard, particularly during Samhain, to spread the seeds that I have grown inside me, the idea, the knowledge that I have about how I can hurt the earth, how I can harm the earth. What practices are helpful, what practices are harmful. Now, as witches, we're very used to the idea of giving back and putting out offerings. When we take something from nature, we are taught to put something back, to give something back to nature. When we have a ritual, as Wiccans, I'm not sure about your ritual, but as Wiccans, we return some of the wine and the bread that we have shared, the cakes that we have shared during the ritual. We retain some of that, and that is returned to the earth. People talk about putting out offerings on their altars at Samhain, and a plate of something, often pan dulce or something like that they take and then we put some of that, sprinkle some of that outside as well for the dead or for whoever. Okay, we do that as a part of tradition. But at the same time, how can you say that you can do that honestly and do that as a helpful, something wonderful, giving back, and pollute the earth? And yeah, I can't control pollution, but I have to be more mindful, and I'm going to beg you right now to start to try to think more mindfully about your own practices. I'm not criticizing you. I'm as guilty as everybody else. Here in California, we were very kind of early on the game to have recycling programs. Our cities, we have recycling. We've had recycling bins for years, where we have our waste in one bin. Another bin is for recycle things that can be recycled, like paper and plastic, those kind of things, aluminum cans. And then we have a green waste, which was clippings from the yard, whatever, old gardens matter, whatever that we can also put into another, and they will turn that into compost. Okay, now we've had that for a lot of years, and a lot of us are just willy-nilly throwing the stuff in the compost, particularly the foil, the plastic, the aluminum cans, the aluminum, the plastic, those kind of things, paper. Not all of us do paper. We're really bad about paper, and paper is one of the greatest things, because you can actually shred paper and put it in your garden. You can do that. It'll break down into the garden. It's your compost pile, your own compost pile. But anyway, but we for years just mindfully were throwing things because we were, recycling is catching on. Everybody's recycling, We started being real opinionated. People that throw, aluminum cans in the trash, like in parks and public places. We thought, well, how could you do that? All you have to do is collect the cans and take it to a recycling place, or just put it in your recycling bin if you do nothing else. But people say, we're helping the homeless by putting them in the trash, and then they can go through the trash and get that money, recycle those cans, and get like the pennies or whatever they're going to get for it, so they can go buy themselves some food. Well, that's maybe true, but it's balderdash. It's balderdash because what you're really saying is, I'm too lazy to put the can into the recycling bin. Let's help the homeless in other ways. Let's first of all find them homes. I don't know, but it's just silly, to treat them that way. That's a terrible, it's just laziness. It's laziness. And I see this is my big stick. I see it with friends. I see it with not so much my family, but extended family. YouTube, it's everywhere. People using plastic or paper disposable dishes because they don't want to wash dishes. Or the little coffee things, individual. I'm going to use a different thing for every cup of coffee that I make. I have to have another piece of plastic or paper, whatever it is, because they don't have time to make coffee. Oh, you don't have time to make coffee. That's ridiculous. First of all, who makes coffee? People go to Starbucks or whatever all the time. But secondly, if you all drink coffee, you can have a timer on your coffee machine. If you don't, my husband drinks more coffee than I do, so he makes his own coffee. He either makes his own in a little French press that is just enough for him, or which is you pour the water through the coffee, or he makes coffee. He soaks coffee grounds somehow, and then I'm not sure what he does, and then he makes that into, it keeps it in the refrigerator. It's like a liquid, and he pours it in and he adds boiling water. It's like instant coffee, but it's brewed coffee, and it's delicious. He does it all the time. It takes him minutes. Okay. But this waste, because I'm so busy. So busy. Think about your mother and your grandmother. How busy were they? My mother worked full time, went to school, had children, kept her house, did all the cooking. She didn't have takeout. She didn't have frozen. We didn't have frozen dinners. It's like it's lazy. We don't want to put any effort into it. I understand that. I'm probably lazier than most people. I'm really lazy in a lot of ways. But I'm telling you, what I want to tell you is fact. And I want you to take this as a challenge and tell your friends that the recycling programs things are not really being recycled like you think they are. Now that we're all throwing everything in the bin, we find, when they do the research, that they're not recycling most items. It's not that they can't. It's that they can't keep up with it, number one, or it's expensive. You can do your own research. Don't listen to me. But do your own research and look that up. And you'll find how much of the recycling in your city, in your own cities, is actually being done. Okay? And you'll be horrified that most of that stuff is going into the dump, into the landfill. Plastic, do you know how long it takes plastic to break down in the earth? And meanwhile, it's releasing all these toxins. You know how many people there are in the world? This is crazy. Spread your seeds. Get your knowledge and spread your seeds. Share the knowledge. Help people find ways to be more ecological. To think about I've shown you, you can compost if you live somewhere, anywhere where you can compost, or your city can compost a lot of things for you. But if you can have your own compost pile, that's amazing. If you can't, at least you can reduce the amount of stuff. Use your dishes. Wash your dishes. I mean, my husband and I never use paper plates or whatever. The only time we use them is when people bring them here, have left them here for something, and we'll use them until they're gone. We'll use them for, we'll either then compost them or burn them, or depending what they are. Sometimes you have to use them, but you don't need to use it. If there's two of you eating spaghetti for dinner, you don't need to use the paper plate. I mean, does that even make sense? That doesn't make any sense at all, because it's not even nice. I'm going on and on and on about this, but this is so important. Why shouldn't this be as important as making a witch's jar? Why should not saving our earth be as important it is in how to use the herbs that come from the earth? Do you understand the irony of that situation? If we don't take care of our earth, we're not going to have any more herbs. We're not going to have any more gemstones. We're not going to be able to... Do you see this? Is this registering with you in any way? Be responsible. Be responsible. Look at history at witches, historically, witches who made their own potions, they made their own medicines. What did they make it from? They made it from what they got from the land. They didn't get it from Amazon. They didn't contact Mountain Rose Herbs, which they have wonderful things, but they didn't say, please send me some herbs. They collected them from their land. They didn't put poison in their land, let's tell you that, or they wouldn't have the herbs. Now, they did not have all the knowledge that we have now. They did not have all the substances, the toxic substances that we have now. So you can't say, well, they pooped in the rivers. Well, yes, they might have. I don't know if they did. But sorry, that was kind of vulgar. I didn't mean to be vulgar. But think about it. They didn't have plastic. They didn't have some of the things that could... Plastic is like one of the worst things you can have. Now they're even telling us storing things in plastic for a long period of time, such as food. That plastic will leach into your system, into the food, and you'll take it into your system. That's why they tell you, don't put the plastic in the microwave. It's not necessarily because it's going to melt and get all gross. It's because when you heat it, it's going to release some of the toxins that are in it, and that will transfer to your food. As a witch, you know what it means to set intentions. I want you all to set an intention for me now, for yourself for now, during the remainder of Samhain, to think about what you can do to make our earth and our practices, our craft as witches, even better and more meaningful. Practice what you preach, witches. This is not any different than Christians or whoever going to church on Christmas and Easter and maybe some occasional Sundays, and then going out and hating on their neighbor or stealing from the office supplies or spreading gossip or all those things that according to their dogma it's not a Christian way to act. I use Christian because I was Christian. I was raised a Christian, so I know what it meant to be a Christian or to go through the motions of being a Christian. Do you just celebrate Christmas saying Santa Claus, or do you believe in the message of the season? That's different. Well, witches have seasons too, and witches, no matter what your practice, can relate to this. I think you can relate to this. Use your knowledge and the skills that you are acquiring, not just to harvest the seeds of your intention and to have an outcome of spell or outcome of, whatever you're doing that way, but also to harvest your knowledge and spread the seeds of your knowledge to other people. Show other people some of the things that you can do as a witch and not hurt the earth. You hear people all the time saying, don't do bindings or anything like that. Don't do binding spells. Don't put in hexes. We don't want to hurt anybody. Well, we don't. But do we want to hurt the earth? By putting out a binding on a person, you're hurting one person maybe, or two people or whatever. But by putting out dangerous witch practices, such as, being sloppy about what you're doing to the earth, being, thoughtlessly going through your practice, polluting and, not taking care of your earth, not doing healthy things that will improve your life. You're hurting everybody. You're hurting all of us because you're hurting the earth. Okay. I talk too much. I'm a crone. You got to be patient with me because I am a crone. And we just talk and talk until you listen. So I'm just telling you, this is what I've taken on myself. This is a personal challenge for me. I'm going to harvest. I'm going to spread my seeds. And my seeds right now are spreading the information, the knowledge that I have taken on. And I'm going to try to inform people. Try to help people. Try to help people. Show you easier ways of doing things. Or just causing you to pause and to think about the consequences of maybe some of your actions. Okay. I never can do this. Witches are the cool kids. Witches are we're the ones with the solutions to some problems. We can be a solution to this problem as well. Okay. Try, if you're interested in tarot at all, try me to come Pacific Standard Time, noon, on Tuesday, November 8th, and we're going to try. These are tarot-related questions. I'm sorry, so if you don't like tarot, don't come. But we're going to talk about tarot. I have some questions I'm going to answer from some subscribers who have asked me some questions, and but I'm open for any kind of tarot questions, so you can talk to me then, okay? I think we'll probably aim for just not going over an hour. It's going to be trying to be short, to kind of go over an hour. If nobody's there, it'll be brief. But you'll still be able to see it here on YouTube. Okay. Oh, blessings of Samhain. Remember, we keep going with Samhain. And blessings of this season. I hope you had a wonderful time, wonderful celebrations, and are still celebrating because it's a fun, exciting time of the year. And Happy New Year, witches. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.